Today we are going to delve into 3 unbelievable unsolved mysteries that baffled true crime enthusiasts all over the world. We post new stories every Tuesday and Friday, so stay tuned. Number 1. On the evening of October 7th, 1949, in a small Los Angeles apartment, a woman in her 20s sat in front of her vanity mirror, delicately shaping her hair into perfect waves. She had beautiful dark brown hair, bright blue eyes, and a smile that seemed to light up the room. This was Jean Spangler, a woman with big dreams of becoming a star in Hollywood. She'd already appeared in a few small movie roles, but she was hoping for her big break. That evening, Jean had a brief conversation with her sister-in-law before heading out. She mentioned she was meeting her ex-husband to discuss child support, followed by a night shoot at a film studio. Jean was married to a manufacturer named Dexter Benner in 1942 in a whirlwind wartime romance. She filed for divorce just 6 months later, and Spangler gave birth to the couple's daughter, Christine, in April 1944. Benner was originally granted custody of Christine in 1946, and he reportedly denied Spangler the right to see her daughter, leading a bitter custody battle, which Spangler ultimately won. After the conversation, she grabbed her purse, gave a quick, reassuring smile, and walked out the door. As the night wore on and turned into the early hours of the morning, Jean did not return home. Her prolonged absence began to stir a sense of worry in her sister-in-law, who initially thought Jean might have been delayed at the film studio. Concern mounting, she decided to call the studio to check on Jean, only to find that there was no night shoot scheduled, and Jean hadn't been there. By the next morning, when there was still no sign of Jean, her sister-in-laws contacted the police to report Jean missing. The investigation into Jean Spangler's disappearance swiftly kicked into high gear. The Los Angeles Police Department scoured the city, searching for any clues that could shed light on her whereabouts. Police investigated her ex-husband Benner, who said he hadn't seen Spangler for weeks. In the initial days of the investigation, Benner was the primary suspect, coupled with the fact that Jean left her home to meet him. Benner told police that Jean was never scheduled to meet him that day. 2 days after she was reported missing, police found a big clue. Jean's purse was found in Griffith Park. The straps were torn, indicating a possible struggle. This chilling find intensified the urgency of the search and the mystery surrounding her disappearance. But what police found inside the purse was the real mystery. Investigators found a note addressed to someone named Kirk. The note read, "Can't wait any longer. Going to see Dr. Scott. It will work best this way while Mother is away." The cryptic message in the note sparked a flurry of questions. After this note came to light, everyone's suspicion went straight to the famous Hollywood actor Kirk Douglas. The police followed this lead and brought him in for questioning. Kirk initially denied knowing Jean, but later admitted to having met her. But he vehemently denied any involvement in her disappearance. The identity of Dr. Scott remained a mystery, clouding the investigation with more questions than answers. As days turned into weeks with no sign of Jean, the case grew colder, but the fascination with her disappearance only deepened. The media and public speculated wildly, theorizing everything from a botched illegal procedure to foul play. Yet, despite extensive efforts, the fate of Jean Spangler remained shrouded in mystery. As years passed, many conspiracy theories emerged. Jean's mother mentioned to the police that a man named Kirk had picked up Jean from her house on multiple occasions, staying in his car without coming in. At the time of her disappearance, Spangler had recently completed a small part in the film Young Man with a Horn, starring Kirk Douglas. This led to public speculation that he was the Kirk mentioned in the note found in her purse. Spangler's friends told police she was allegedly 3 months pregnant when she disappeared and had discussed having an abortion, which was illegal at the time. Witnesses who frequented the same nightclubs and bars as Spangler mentioned a former medical student known as Doc, who allegedly performed abortions for money, but police could not locate him or confirm his existence. This led to a theory that Spangler disappeared under circumstances related to a botched abortion attempt. A widely speculated theory is that Jean was killed by a serial killer. Steve Hodel, a former LAPD homicide detective, believes his father, Dr. George Hodel, was responsible for the disappearance of Jean Spangler and possibly the infamous Black Dahlia murder. In his book, Black Dahlia Avenger, he presents evidence linking his father to these cases, including similarities in the victims' profiles and connections to his father's activities. Dr. Hodel had a troubled legal history and was involved in illegal activities, including performing abortions. Steve Hodel's investigation revealed potential evidence at his father's former property, suggesting a deeper involvement in these unsolved crimes. Despite his efforts, definitive proof of Dr. Hodel's guilt remains elusive. Jean Spangler's disappearance still remains a popular unsolved Hollywood mystery that still intrigues people to this day. Number 2. Gareth Williams was a brilliant mathematician from Wales. Fluent in Welsh as his first language, his remarkable intellect was evident from an early age. While still attending secondary school, he embarked on a part-time study of mathematics at Bangor University. His exceptional academic prowess led him to graduate with a first-class degree at the mere age of 17. Williams then furthered his studies, earning a PhD from the University of Manchester. However, he later dropped out from a postgraduate course at Cambridge. In 2001, Williams began his career with GCHQ in Cheltenham, where he lived for nearly a decade in Gloucestershire. After establishing a successful career at GCHQ, Gareth Williams' exceptional skills and intelligence caught the attention of MI6, the UK's Foreign Intelligence Service. Recognizing his potential for significant contributions in the field of intelligence, MI6 brought Williams on board, where he worked on top-secret assignments. His role at MI6 involved leveraging his advanced mathematical and analytical abilities, likely in the realm of code-breaking and encryption, which are critical aspects of intelligence work. Williams' expertise made him a valuable asset to MI6, where he could apply his unique skill set to national security tasks and complex global intelligence operations. His move to MI6 marked a significant transition from his earlier work at GCHQ, propelling him into the intricate world of international espionage and intelligence gathering. At MI6, his colleagues described him as an introvert who kept to himself and kept his personal life private. Gareth had recently returned from a holiday in America in the summer of 2010 and was back in London on August 11th. He was due to return to work at GCHQ later that month, concluding his work at MI6. In the days following his return, Williams was seen on CCTV visiting shops in the West End and attending a comedy show at a club in Bethnal Green. However, concerns arose when Williams didn't show up for work and was unreachable for 5 days, prompting his colleagues to alert the police. A team of police officers, responding to concerns raised by colleagues of Gareth, approached his apartment in Pimlico. His colleagues had not heard from him for several days, which was unusual given his meticulous nature. The building, a typical London brick structure, gave no outward signs of the drama unfolding within. As they entered his flat, the officers were struck by the meticulous organization and cleanliness of his flat. There was no sign of forced entry, suggesting that either he had let someone in or that he was alone. They began a methodical search. The living room was untouched, with books and papers neatly arranged. His kitchen, too, was in immaculate condition, with no dishes in the sink or food left out. They also noticed that the heat of the house has been cranked up higher than usual, which struck out to him. As they moved from room to room, everything appeared to be in its place, making the silence all the more ominous. When they reached the bathroom, something seemed immediately amiss. There, in the bathtub, was a red North Pole sports bag. At first glance, it seemed out of place in the otherwise orderly apartment. What struck the officers as odd was not just its placement, but its appearance. The bag was padlocked, an unusual security measure for something inside one's own home. As police opened the bag, they made a grim discovery. The bag contained the body of Gareth Williams. He was curled up, fitting into the bag in a way that suggested he either entered it by himself or was placed there by someone with a disturbing level of care and precision. The windows were shut, and the door had been locked from the outside, further deepening the mystery. They also found the keys to the padlock beneath Gareth's body. The discovery of Gareth Williams's body in such bizarre circumstances sparked a myriad of questions and theories. Was it an accident, suicide, or murder? If it was the latter, who could have carried out such an act and why? As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this was no ordinary case. Upon thorough analysis of the bag, they could not find any DNA traces on the bag or the padlock. This was particularly odd, as if Gareth was the one who put himself inside the bag, the padlock should have had at least his DNA. Additionally, the heat in the apartment indicated that it could have been increased intentionally to accelerate the decomposition process. But police left no stones unturned to solve this mystery. They brought in 2 experts who tried to put themselves in the bag and close it, in the same manner Gareth's body was placed. But after 400 attempts, they could not lock the bag from inside. As police investigation hit another dead end, Gareth's landlord came forward with a shocking revelation. A few months ago, Gareth supposedly tried to tie himself to a bed, and being unable to get loose, he started shouting for them to come and help him. This baffling statement made police investigation open to other possibilities. Many speculated that Gareth might be into weird sexual fantasies of bondage, and things unfortunately took a fatal turn. A post-mortem examination was conducted on Gareth Williams, but it established no obvious cause of death. Toxicology tests found no alcohol, routine or recreational drugs in his system. The cause of death was thought to be suffocation, with a lack of oxygen, and inhaling his own carbon dioxide while in the bag. There were no signs of a struggle inside his flat or suspicious forensic material at the scene, leading to the conclusion that Williams had acted alone. Some of the theories surrounding Gareth Williams' mysterious death include speculation that it might be linked to his secret intelligence work. A former Liberal Democrat minister and a former KGB major suggested in a podcast that Williams was killed because he was close to identifying a Russian mole in the UK security services. They theorized that Williams had been poisoned and incapacitated. Another theory is that his death was connected to his investigation into international money laundering. The mystery of Gareth Williams's death still remains a mystery, and the case still raises many unanswered questions. Number 3. Luke Joly-Durocher was a young man in his 20s, visiting friends in North Bay, Ontario. He stood out with his brown hair and dark eyes, his smile brightened by braces. Luke's glasses added a thoughtful touch to his casual, approachable look. Known for his positive attitude and joking nature, Luke had a way of lighting up a room, making his mysterious disappearance all the more heart-wrenching for those who knew him. On the night he went missing, Luke was set for a night out with friends in North Bay. He shared a close bond with his father, consistently keeping in touch. Before heading out, Luke spoke to his dad, mentioning he'd wear the American Eagle jacket that his father had gifted him, and his distinct purple belt that he jokingly called the conversation starter. Luke ended the call telling his father that he loved him and that he would call him after returning. His father, accustomed to regular check-ins, waited for a call that night, but it never came. Assuming Luke was just tired, he didn't worry initially. But when there was no call the next day, concern set in. After unsuccessfully trying to reach Luke's friends, his father felt compelled to contact the police, beginning a search for answers that continues to this day. When Luke went missing, the police initially questioned his friends. They mentioned that Luke left the bar early and they hadn't heard from him since. Reviewing the CCTV footage of the area, the police spotted Luke withdrawing cash from an ATM and heading towards his friend's apartment. But after that, he disappeared into thin air. A search of the friend's apartment yielded some of Luke's belongings, but nothing that appeared suspicious or out of the ordinary. As time went on without any sign of Luke, The police considered the possibility that in the state of intoxication, he might have accidentally fallen into the ice lake or frozen to death in the cold in a snowbank. However, nobody was found despite thorough searches, leaving this theory unconfirmed. After a few weeks, in a significant development, police received an anonymous tip claiming that there was a hidden basement in the house where Luke was staying with his friends. The caller suggested that Luke's body might have been present in the apartment, even while it was being searched by the police. Responding to the anonymous tip, police immediately jumped into action. They brought in a cadaver dog, which was given Luke's scent from his family's provided items. The dog led them straight to the basement into the hidden attic, but when they opened the attic, they found nothing. Luke's friend maintained his innocence, stating that they didn't inform police about the attic because it has been empty for years. In another startling development, there was a claim that Luke's friends were circulating his distinctive purple belt as a trophy throughout the town. But police never managed to find the belt or track the anonymous caller for further information. Luke's father, to this day, believes that Luke might have owed someone money and that outside the ATM, there appears to be an unknown person waiting for Luke, after which he might have killed him, and the missing items will someday break the case open. However, without further evidence, the case remains unsolved, shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions. Write down in the comments section what you think might have happened to 3 of these people and why. Thank you for watching this video. For more content like this, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. Stay safe, and until the next time.